takes to step ahead of the rest. Get on top of the truck to say you beat the best. Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex, the track too tough to tame. Which drivers will step up and claim their fame? The best will reach in their bag of tricks. It's the midway point, time for round 6. Hello everybody and welcome to the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports. We're going to bring you all the action from round number 6 here at the historic Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex. Stout and Steel ready to call all the action for you. Round number 5 certainly provided a lot of that. We're going to talk about the unlimited twos, but you know what? Today, round number 6 is actually going to be hotter than one day ago. 110 degrees out here.
Well, you know what? If you're a driver that's out of shape, hasn't been doing your push-ups, haven't been getting some cardio, you're going to be paying for it. When you get inside those trucks, you got the power plant right next to you. It brings the heat up. I mean, the index inside the car, I can't even imagine what it is. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the race, people are going to be dropping like flies because they're exhausted and they're out of shape. Get to the gym, boys, if you fall off today. One guy that goes to the gym, a guy that does triathletes. I mean, the guy has got the cardio, the skills, the driving ability of the truck. Carl Renzener. Double whammy, wins an Unlimited 4, Unlimited 2. He proves it once again that he's the man.
You know, it was Kevin Probst with the Unlimited 2s that led for a long time with the E3 Sparkplug sponsorship on it. The guys were chasing him. One of the guys that was chasing him was Rodrigo Amputian. Boy, oh boy, did he run into trouble.
Woo, speaking of trouble, Rodrigo will tell you, and we say it all the time, he goes for it. He lives on the ragged edge. If he needs to pick up a tenth or a half a second, he will hold it down where maybe he shouldn't. Second jump on the front straight, held it wide open where they'd been checking up just a hair and trail breaking up the face. Wide open, and he got kicked over the bars, as we say on a motorcycle. Nose is in, complete yard sale, parts flying everywhere. The truck is destroyed. Rodrigo is fine. He comes back for the Unlimited Light race, but he'll only be racing one class here in round number 6 because his big truck is useless, worthless. He's got to go back to Mexico, get fabricated on before it gets back on the racetrack.
Quick nod to Bryce Menzies, was right there, and the Hunt unfortunately broke a crankshaft right at the very end of the run. The other two podium finishers in Unlimited 2, Greg Adler and Jerry Welchel, nice run for them, but let's talk about Unlimited Lights. Man, an off-the-hook race of all times to come out. Brian Deegan, representing the Metal Militia at his home track, lays it down and does it legit, man. He did not back into the wind. He won it straight up.
He did, definitely. When you talk about it getting hot in here, Brian Deegan was feeling the heat. Talk about a guy that was probably wishing for the white flag a couple laps earlier. He didn't just get the mandatory yellow, he got multiple yellows. I think he had 4 restarts, and he's got Ampudia, Hart, and of course Robert Naughton following him. And you know what? To Brian Deegan's skill, I will attest that he is a man that should be racing and is one of the better racers here. He proved it time and time again. He just went to rally school to learn how to slide the truck better. A world rally driver is here coaching him and being a spotter. Brian Deegan is firing on all cylinders, and to live through 4 restarts, although he did get passed one time by Naughton and got back around, he was absolutely aces. And the cool part is, after that, I got a chance to sit down with him, and you got to hear his words and what he thought about the race. So let's check in with that right now as I caught up with Deegan a little earlier.
Well, Brian, you've arrived at another sport and taken over, it seems like. I mean, first you get to the top level of motocross as an amateur, then supercross wins, 10 X Games medals, all of a sudden left turn into 4 wheels. Here you are winning once again. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday was one of the best days of my career, and I went out there and put it all together and ended up holding the lead the whole race, and that felt so good. I just felt like I was racing dirt bikes again. It was just home soil here. It couldn't have been a better day.
What is it that makes the Inland Empire a little different than anywhere else in the world?
It's funny because you come out in the 909, 951, and, you know, I'm going to take credit with the militia and all the boys, you know, the black socks, all black clothes, the flat bill hats, the lifted trucks, and the girls with streaks in their hair. Well, yeah, that was we started all that. and I'm gonna say we're proud of it, and I still rock a flat bill because that's the way it is around here, and we're keeping it real. Elsinore backs us super hard. This is our hometown, so basically we're coming out here just being militia.
Awesome. Okay, you won round number 1. round number 2 of Lake Elsinore this weekend. It's actually rounds 5 and 6. You win at round 5. Predictions for round 6. I just heard with the inversion that you're starting on the pole.
Yeah, you know, I went out there and there's a lot of games that go on in this racing, so I was getting jacked with a little bit in practice and qualifying, and I kind of played it. I held back and gave a fast lap on the last lap and got in there. I think I was 3rd or 4th in qualifying. I think they're inverting 4, so it'll put me on the front row with Naughton. And Naughton's been a great competitor. I've always had my eye on him. Even last year, he dominated, so I'm like, if I could beat any guy, if I can beat him, that means that's the top. So Naughton's not going to give it up easy. Yesterday, he gave a huge fight to me, and I just had it so locked in my head that you are going to win, and I couldn't see it going any other way.
Well, welcome to the top of the podium in the big leagues of off-road racing, Brian. Great job.
Thank you.
Definitely on his game in round 5, but today it's round 6, and they'll be bringing some game to him. Before we see that battle, it will be the U2s. They're lined up, engines are running, and they're coming up next. You're watching the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. It's hot out here at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports, but it's about to get hotter. Some great overhead shots courtesy of the Goodyear blimp, and we'll kick them off with the U2 race. Rob Klepper, no doubt, has some last-minute updates. Let's kick it down to our pit reporter.
Well, Kent Stout, here we go. U2's out on the racetrack, and I'm going to have to go with the 99 Robbie Woods. Here's why. The guy has had some bad luck this weekend at Lake Elsinore. He rolled over on Friday, broke a flex plate yesterday, had a bad finish in the feature event, but today he qualified 4th. Rockin' Robbie told me he is ready, man. He's going to race to the front, the 99, starting inside row number 3, taking his first win of the year today at Elsinore.
He had some dry sump issues. Apparently those have been remedied. Came out here, did a good job in qualifying. Here's a look at the point standings in the Unlimited 2 category. Carl Renazetter now on top after the win in round number 5 over Jerry Welchel. Well, speaking of Jerry Welchel, we had a chance to talk to some of our drivers to find out how they feel here during the season.
I think if I were to give an actual grade to our team, both Unlimited 2, Unlimited 4, I'd have to definitely A+.
Right now, we're feeling really good. I'd say like a B+. There's always room for improvements.
Well, I'd probably say a B. You know, I mean, it's maybe B- for me. Experienced guys running the car and just a rookie behind the wheel trying to give them feedback of what we need to do.
So that's how some of the guys are feeling, and honestly, a B here in your first season, not too bad.
Definitely not too bad. And speaking of first, Justin Davis will lead them to the green flag. He qualified 8th. With the inversion, he will be on the front in the pole position, starting next to Scott Shavasa. Dale Dondell, Jerry Welchel coming from row number 2, and coming from a little farther back, Kevin Probst. You got to give him huge props. The fastest qualifier here in Unlimited 2. Remember, 800 horsepower, 2-wheel drive machines, banging and smashing, going for the checkered flag.
And our starting grid courtesy of General Tire. Thank you very much. Here they come.
Oh, and Justin Davis way off the throttle. As they go to the green, he's going to get mixed back. At least lose 2 positions. Looks like Adler trying to go to the outside of him, and Probst driving carefully around the inside, but props. Justin Davis, 16 years old.
Yeah, his first weekend inside of the U2 truck, and Jerry Welchel was the points leader coming into this event this weekend. Lost that position. Just 1 round to go to Carl Renazetter when he got the win. You can see him checking up right there. It's a little wet out there yet.
A little bit slippery. They put some water down before the race. Remember, the track will change quite a bit. Look at Jerry Welchel, smart driving, moves to the inside, the middle of the track, where there's a lot more drier. You can see where it's drier. Oh, Shavasa stepping out, then drifting to the outside. Adler taking a look underneath and gonna make it work.
Oh, and there goes Kevin Probst. Spins it all the way around and collects Carl in the process.
You gotta be a little ginger out there getting started, but Adler wants to make a move for the lead. It looks like he might have the drive. Slides to the outside, and he's gonna make the move in the 4-wheel parts wholesaler truck, taking him across the stripe for the first lap completion.
Greg Adler, always tough. Here's another look at Kevin Probst, the E3 sponsored machine, the green and white truck. Unfortunately, loops it all the way around, and Carl Renazetter has to check up to keep from driving into him. Back out front. How about Adler? Adler still looking for his first win here in the category.
And right now in great position, but as I said, the track's gonna change a bit. And as we take a little bit farther back look, that is,
oh yeah!
Contact, Welchel. And he's got to bring it all the way around, spins the donut, and
oh man. Tough break there for Jerry Welchel, spins it around, and he's not going to sit there very long. Tries to take off. Again, Carl has to check up. Another look at it.
And just gets to the inside, a little bit of contact, maybe lifts the throttle a little bit so he doesn't have a big contact, slides it around and has to drive it around. Unfortunate for Welchel. Welchel's truck's pretty bright, by the way. I was just checking out that paint scheme. It looks like a paint store threw up on it.
On board with Bryce Menzies. Let's listen. By the way, just a quick little blurb, a little feathering of the throttle up over the jumps. That is vintage Rob McCachran, and that's who he's trained with over the years.
Menzies cool, calm, and collected in the race truck. The number 7 there you're looking at, that is Bryce Menzies. And on the inside there, Robbie Woods, who is Rob Klepper's pick. Look at that, diving to the inside, trying to make the move on Bryce. And remember, Bryce had to do an engine change during the weekend, so just the night before this race, the team is putting a brand new power plant in the truck, so some things may not be exactly perfect, but Bryce putting in a great drive. And look at this, Woods making the move on Shavasa and keeping it clean, not a ton of contact. I might have saw a little puff of white smoke there from Woods.
Actually spoke with Wood a little bit before the race. There was some smoke out of that truck during qualifying. He said it's residual smoke that was inside the lines from their dry sump issues. They had one round to go. He thinks everything's fine. Brand new Pro Power underneath the hood of that truck, and he's really starting to get it figured out. A great overhead shot there from the blimp, the Goodyear blimp. And there's a look at your top 5, courtesy of E3 Spark Plug. Stay with us. We're back here with the U2 race and the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports. Your leader, Greg Adler, with the 4-wheel parts backed machine. And there's a look at the 17 truck, Carl Renazetter, trying to get by Scott Shavasa right there, the white and green truck, who we thought was going to have 2 trucks out here this weekend with Danny Eberts.
And Danny not able to be here racing. Unfortunately, he is here watching. Hopefully we'll have him back in the series. And you saw right there, Shavasa looked like he was racing the lines he wanted to race to the outside of the rhythm section, looking to set up on the corner. Carl snuck inside, took the line. Maybe the spotter wasn't telling him, hey, Carl's coming, you know, race it tight or keep the line. And he left the door open and Carl took it.
Scott has had a very solid year so far, though, as once again we watch the overhead shot here. Lonnie doing a great job up there and giving us some great overhead shots. There's Justin Davis with the 85 truck, and Dale Dondell, who comes out of the desert, really does a great job there with an all-wheel drive truck, comes here to the U2 category and looks like he's doing a great job again. And
we've talked about it. They built that truck. Racer Fabrication is his company. They built the truck. He's out there racing it, proving that he can do it. He did win a trophy truck race at the Laughlin Desert Challenge at the Score race a couple years back. So no doubt that he can throw it around, and very highly touted race car driver. Good to have him racing here in the Unlimited 2 class.
This truck probably half the weight of his desert truck, so probably feels like a feather out there.
I'm sure they were thrashing on it to get it done too. This is its first race, and you know, there's always those gremlins and things, but they're having a great run so far. And here comes Probst. We saw him, he had a slide out there on the first lap, but he's battling back. And speaking of battling, here comes Menzies.
Yeah, battling for second place right there with Robbie Woods. Menzies with the purple Super Clean sponsored truck. Robbie Woods with the Lucas Oil Slick Mist truck. And here comes Carl Renazetter in the mix.
Yeah, that's the thing. You start focusing on a race, and a smart race car driver, he sees 2 guys battling, and he starts to look for a way around. Renazetter is doing exactly that. These 2 guys are focused on each other. Here he comes, trying to be the guy. Snake up underneath him, make the line. Look, contact. Will Carl have to drive on the inside? It looks like he's gonna maybe get Woods, but Woods a little out of shape there, but he's got the line. Overdrive the corner. Renazetter's going to the inside.
Robbie Woods gives that hit right back to Menzies, and you know, that's all part of the game. If you're gonna try to pinch a guy down here, he's gonna use you for a berm and make a little room. That's part of the fun of off-road racing.
And the battle ensuing over the big jumps in the back, and having to make room around a lapper. Whoa, Menzies goes left. Carl goes right, and Woods gets a little hung up there on Josh Merrill, his first ever race in Unlimited 2 this weekend. So only his second race ever right here at round number 6. Doing a good job just keeping the truck on the track, and that's got to be a little unnerving having 2,400 horsepower go around you, 3 trucks at one time.
Both sides, man. And the mandatory caution will come out. That is your leader, Greg Adler, who comes across first, followed by Bryce Menzies, then Carl Renezetter, and Robbie Woods to round out the top 4. Will they have anything for one Greg Adler? We'll find out. The closing laps of the race are next. You're watching the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports here at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex. Time now to get the U2 race restarted. As they come around the last turn looking for the green flag, let's check back in with Rob.
Well, Ken, keep an eye on that 99. I picked him to win this deal, and I got to be honest, as they roll by me, he's going side by side with Renezetter, but I'll tell you what, they tore it up on Friday. They broke a flex plate yesterday, had a bad finish, but today, Robbie Woods is in fuego, on fire. It's going to be fun to try and watch him in the final half of this race pull off the win.
A great battle here for the lead. Bryce Menzies now up beside Greg Adler.
Looking to get to the inside, wasn't able to do it. Adler runs over him. Oh, in direct contact. Renezetter.
The third time Renezetter has run into somebody in that same turn and through no fault of his own. Let's have another look at it.
So Adler starts to slide out, catches a little bit of Menzies. Menzies just waiting, nothing he can do. Can't put it in reverse, can't go forward because Carl's in the lane and he just gets collected up. And now look at this. Renezetter is off the pace and dropping to the outside, but Menzies still able to keep going. Looks like there's a problem with Renezetter.
Well, you'd think it would have been the other way around, that Menzies would have been broke, but looks like a drive shaft or...
No, it looks like a track bar.
A trailing arm, yep.
Yep, hanging down, so that's gonna end the day for the number 17 Lucas Oil machine of Renezetter. But right now, Robbie Woods just ahead there of Jerry Welchel, and Dondell also having problems.
Absolutely. Here comes Jerry Welchel. Bryce Menzies, look at the nose of that number 7 super clean bag machine. It is wadded up, but it's still going strong.
One thing for the people that aren't full-time fans of off-road racing, the engines in these trucks are set back a little bit between the drivers. So you see the front of the truck all torn up. It's really just tubing and a bit of fascia there where the suspension comes up and connects. So not a huge problem unless that hood flips up and starts to cause them a problem. But right now, getting alongside Jerry Welchel means there's not a lot of problems going on for Bryce.
Jerry Welchel finishing on the podium, just 1 round to go. Even though he finished strong, still lost the points lead. Now this is an opportunity to pick that points lead back up with Carl Renezetter out of the race.
A DNF for Renezetter is going to be brutal in the points. And Woods right now having a clean run. Look at this. Bryce looking for a line up right at the edge of the cush to try to carry speed, and he's got it, but it looks like he almost has to back out. Here comes the hood flying up in his vision. That is very tough. Driving that truck with no forward vision, very tough to do.
Nice outside in move as he was trying to make the pass, and of course, that's the best thing could have happened to him right there. That hood just blew off. Now they'll have plenty of vision. Jeff Ward back there, and Justin Davis slowly falling to the back, but the kid's done a great job.
Jeff Ward doing it for the Speed Technologies team. Getting by Justin Davis again. Justin only 16 years old, and Jeff Ward in his first year of off-road racing. He's full-time here in the series. He's been doing a great job of having the car there at the end of the race. You can't win if you don't finish. And you know what? He's been on the podium because he has been there in the mix at the end where some of the other guys are killing their vehicles. Hence, the contact with Carl Renezetter takes him out of the race.
Oh, we've got one going for the ride. It is Jerry Welchel, who crashed his truck in the same exact spot that we saw Rodrigo Ampudia crash just 1 round to go. The second tabletop on the front straightaway. Jerry Welchel goes for a ride.
And you can see the front arm there ripped off. The wheel is not connected, so the truck will not be getting turned back over and moving again. The thing we're wondering about, just want to make sure that Jerry is okay.
Oh man, it just kicked the back up. Actually a much different looking wreck than what we saw with Ampudia, who just overdrove the jump. In this particular case, it looked like it just kicked the back end up and kind of rolled the thing over frontward. Still very violent though, and good news, Jerry is out of the truck. That's why they wear the D-cells, to protect them in those hard frontal impact.
So the neck restraint's key. You can see not a lot of stop motion. That right there where it landed right on top of the pillar above the driver's head, that one will ring your bell. Bryce Menzie, a great job missing the accident as well with Scott Shavasa going around, but Menzie with the flat tire and maybe other problems because I don't see the Super Clean crew going to work on that flat. Sounded like maybe he said he couldn't stop, but frustration from Bryce. You don't normally see him upset like that. Looks like crew chief Sparky coming in to find out what's wrong.
Your E3 top 5 is like this, including one Jeff Ward and Justin Davis. Great shot of the Goodyear blimp, who has graced us this weekend. Nice to have him out here as well with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports. And when we left you, Bryce Menzies was in the pits, and then this had also happened. Jerry Welchel, unlike Rodrigo, who overshot the jump, he landed a little short this time on the jump, but the results the same.
Now here's a question. We just saw this. I was going to say, can Robbie Woods get to the front? He was running right there at the top of the pack. Looks like he's stopped on the racetrack and going to try to get out of the vehicle. Maybe he thinks he has a fire or something, but
that's a shame because up to this point, he has already recorded the quickest lap of the race. Somebody's going to have to step up and get around him. That truck was solid fast here today.
There goes Klepper's pick up in flames, and Adler in a position right now to collect his first ever win as we go to the green. Lots of first ever win possibilities here. Shavasa in the mix, Dondell in the mix. And Jeff Ward right up there as well. None of those drivers have ever won.
Absolutely right. It's going to be exciting. Dondell doing a good job, pitches it in there. Shavasa just behind him. Shavasa with the white truck and the green slash on the door. Ward with speed on the door. Dondell right there with a white truck as well, and kind of the Arch logo on the door.
Very slippery. You can see they put a little water down during the mandatory yellow, which makes it not only tricky for the drivers to control, but they've got to get back to the tear-offs. Look at this, Wardy with the drive down the outside.
He can smell it, baby. He can smell it.
The two drivers on the inside have drier track, though. Look at the stopping power on the inside of Shavasa.
Three wide back there.
Dondell throws it around in the slippery section. He's out of the mix now for the win, it looks like. But Wardy going to work on Greg Adler.
How about this? Greg Adler trying to keep his composure, but is going to have to get in the throttle. Ward can smell blood right now. White flag flies, one last lap.
And Adler's leading him into it. He's never won before, so the pressure is mounting.
Adler trying to stay clean so far, has a little bit of breathing room as they go into the back half of this last lap.
It's icy in here. Wardy using the cush up at the top.
By the way, they did water this track down during the mandatory yellow after the Jerry Welchel had crashed, so things are a little bit different than they were, and there's evidence of it right there. Adler with a lot of breathing room right now, just has to stay smooth. He's got about 3 turns left to go here, and oh man.
Drifting it high, and he's got the wedge, he can't turn it.
That opened up the door for Wardy to get underneath him.
Wardy smells the blood.
Hold on, side by side with one turn to go.
He's got the line, Wardy's got the line, he's got the inside. Oh, it's a drag race, but Wardy's got the line, and he's gonna get his first ever win.
Greg Adler literally 2 turns away from his first win after 3 years of competition and does not get it. He will be beside himself. He's a super individual, but it's not going to go his way today because Jeff Ward just earned his first ever Unlimited 2 victory. Congratulations to Wardy.
Everybody at Speed Technologies and the Bully Dog team will be amped to have the 3X Jeff Ward on top. huge props to Dale Dondell bringing it home on the podium. His first ever weekend of racing in a brand new truck.
Great finishes for Shabasa, Davis, LaCour, and Merrill. Let's talk to our winner.
That's so cool. I got to thank everybody at Speed Technologies, Bully Dog, Goodyear tires. We had a different set of tires on. Just made a great difference. That last restart, I started last because we didn't get any practice. And they watered it. I just knew to go high everywhere. And it just worked out. So I was so pumped to have that last lap, dice with these guys and get the win. It's just first one, third race. Couldn't ask for more. I'm just stoked. It's great.
We're not finished. Stay with us. See you open race when we come back. We're here at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports. We're going to show you highlights of the Unlimited Lights category. And once again, it would be a dogfight. Let's open it up here, Cam, and turn them loose. The 54 truck, Robert Naughton and Chris Brandt, just like the first 4 rounds, started off the show.
And Heath Carpenter drifting it outside the 25, tagging the wall. It would be chaos as we move through the first couple corners, but the Ready Lift Max's truck trying to hold down the first spot, but Chris Brandt in the Rockstar Geico Power Sports number 82 didn't want to have any of it.
Marty Hart plowed into turn number 1 hard and then snubbed the motor right there. Had to refire and get going again. But here comes Brian Deegan underneath Chris Brandt, the 38 Rockstar truck, trying to pick up some spots, but it was Rodrigo Ampudia who broke and collected Deegan along with Marty Hart in the process.
A broken tie rod for the number 38 of Brian Deegan would keep him from winning as he did the round before, and Matt Loedice puts it on its lid, and this race would end under caution.
They would come around one last time here through the final turn. The 54 truck of Robert Naughton, who had a dominating performance in round number 6, picks up his 5th win out of 6 races for the 2009 season and sends a statement to the rest of the class.
Brian Deegan's teammate Todd Cafaro would bring home the 2nd position, his first podium on the season as we take a look at the Goodyear blimp, and Chris Brandt getting back on the podium after missing it only 1 round so far this season.
Bruce Fraley with a great run there in 4th place, driving for Leroy Lorewald. And how about Marty Hart, after snubbing that motor, still comes back up and finishes in the top 5. There's a look at some of the guys that didn't have quite so good a luck. Time now for the Unlimited Open category, and the 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive guys will go at it here. Of course, up front, and the quickest trucks on the course will be the Unlimited 4s. And Rob Klepper, who are you going with here?
All right, Ken Stout, Cameron Steele, here we go. You open on the racetrack. I'm going to pick the 8, Kent Brashow, as the sun starts to set. He's got over 500 wins. He's a former champion. Brashow's got the best seat in the house, and he will win here at Lake Elsinore.
You know, the truck really looked good a day ago. Unfortunately, they had some right rear suspension issues, but as you take a look at this track, man, talk about wet.
They did not hold back when it came to water. And there you have it, the point standings. Renazetter, Pfluger, Coyne, no surprise, and Jerry Doherty has been solid as well. So we'll see how they mix it up. And as you said, Ken, the track looks very wet. It will dry out during the course of the race, but initially it is going to be like being on a slip and slide.
There's a look at the General Tire Unlimited Open starting grid, and we already talked about Kent Brashow, of course, being up there on the pole. Alan Pfluger will be alongside. Both of those trucks, we've also mentioned this before, the oldest and winningest Unlimited 4 trucks in history, still active history, maybe I should say. Both of them coming from the late 90s, and championships underneath the hoods of both of those vehicles. So they have certainly served their time and still doing a great job out here.
And on the gas, everybody looking for traction, and it looks like, woo, Brashow way overdriving. Very slippery, but he gets back up on the cushion, gets traction. I thought Pfluger might have made the best move there to the inside to keep it conservative and a little safe, and you can see him not throwing it around a ton right here. Look how slippery it is. Contact with Coyne and Pfluger.
Pfluger broke already. You can see how muddy it is out here. They're already pulling tear-offs. The side of the Pfluger's truck, you couldn't even read it anymore. That's how sloppy it is out there for now. It all goes back to the driver. I mean, you gotta take care of it with your right foot. You can't just go out there and wail on it in these conditions.
Definitely not, and contact at any time can be a problem. Travis Coyne drifting all the way to the outside there, but it's the chosen line by everybody around that corner. Travis looking smooth right now, and definitely a guy that can drive it to the front, jumping inside with the KMC wheels, Monster Energy sponsored Pro Comp truck. Travis, one of the young guns in the sport, developing a skill for the four-wheel drives and looks very calm and collected inside the truck.
That is a brand new truck built by Johnny Greaves, some 700 pounds lighter than the truck he raced at our last event. So it is a huge learning curve for him. I spoke with him a little bit. He said, man, I didn't think it'd be this much different, but it is way different as now we watch Carl Renesetter closing the gap on Tim Herbst. Great to have the Herbst boys back out here.
Definitely, and Tim Herbst driving in 2 classes, finishing in the top 6 in the Unlimited buggy, now doing it in the Unlimited 4. And look how icy it is. He goes all the way to the outside of the cush. Carl trying to get the inside, but no run, no traction, and Herbst will make it work from the outside. And even after a couple laps, you can see some dry starting to pop up, but still very greasy all over the track.
Look at the nose of Carl's truck. It is covered in mud.
How long was that slide for Carl there? Drifted 4-wheel slide all the way from the landing of the jump to the corner.
Checking up just a little bit to try and get that thing to rotate. These 4-wheel drive trucks really don't like to turn. They have to disengage a front-wheel drive more times than not. And there's a number of different ways that they do that. But Kent Brasheau made that one look real easy, didn't he?
He did. He was in the perfect line, and now he's working the rhythm section. You see him start to drive to the inside, get good information, and he's driving it around that corner instead of sliding it. Maybe he's worried if he starts to slide it too much, he might break traction and come around. Elects to drive through there, and you can see Jerry working it.
Jerry's just a super guy. Of course, he got that win a little bit earlier in the season. His first career win in the Unlimited 4 category. Super guy with the Dixie Chopper sponsorship on the side. These two guys going at it, man, putting on a show.
And Herbst looked like he lost a little traction there and gave Carl the run up, and now Herbst hooking up. Look at the drift into this corner. That is icy for sure. Tim using it all the way on the outside where there's some loose dirt, a little bit of cush. The marbles might be there if you're racing on the pavement, but they're using it to their advantage at this point.
Yeah, up there now it's just a little bit of grip versus the slick mud. There's your E3 Spark Plugs Top 5. Our Motorsports Complex with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports, and on board with Jerry Doherty, grabbing the gear right there, putting some left input into the steering wheel, now a little counter steer, and drives it out perfectly as he is tracking down our leader, Kent Brasheau.
And making a run at him for sure. Some people may see a belt strap there, not all the way strapped on Jerry Doherty. It's an optional belt in the middle of the chest, not something that he has to run for safety, and he's electing not to use it in case somebody's wondering why that's flapping in there.
Carl Renesetter and Tim Herbst have been going at it for a number of laps trying to earn 4th place. Right now it looks like the nod might go to Carl. Of course, they're both chasing Travis Coyne, who's sitting there in 3rd.
Now something to think about. They knew the track was going to be wet. Look at this. This is a tight battle for the lead. Jerry showing the nose there. Ooh, Kent drifting out, but Jerry not able to make any kind of move. Very slick. Now, some drivers may choose, what I was starting to say is some people may choose a tire that's better for later in the race. They'll get more traction when it's dry. Some may choose a tire that's more grooved up for when it's wet. So we may see different cars come to life as we move farther into this race. Carl Renesetter may be one of those that chose the tire that would be better on a drier track.
Carl Renesetter getting the position there from Travis Coyne. A little smoke out of the left rear of Travis Coyne. Looks like there might be some tire rub going on back there. By the way, Leon Patton power underneath the hood of the Pro Comp truck.
Leon's not afraid to throw a couple ponies at it. And speaking of throwing it, Renesetter landing the jump, whipping the truck sideways, setting up for the corner. Classic Renesetter on the charge. And whoa!
Hang on, baby.
I'm telling you, it is slippery out there. These guys are doing a great job of keeping the trucks just on track, but it's making it hard for them to get outside the one good groove. But again, they start sliding up into the slippery stuff, and another driver just seems to follow in. Very tough to find a different line that's going to work at times.
By the way, that all-white truck has been leading. No sponsorship to speak of on the side of that one. He sure could use some help, and he's led a number of races out here this year. Very solid truck. We heard Klepper talk about him a little bit earlier. Actually, he's won a championship inside of the category. That is Kent Brasho. Maybe we'll see some new colors on him before the year's over with. Degrees at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex. The action on the track gets even hotter with the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico Power Sports. And Jerry Doherty was closing the door on Kent Brasho for the lead. Here comes the restart, and Carl Renesetter stands on the throttle.
Trying to make a run on the outside. Doherty gonna hug that inside line. You see him drifting. Carl sort of making it work in the cush, but has to straighten it out a bit. Not able to make that work, but Doherty now looking for a possible line. He's up high. Renesetter down low, all kinds of different line choices there.
Doherty right down on the bottom of this left-hander.
And he's gonna push coming out. Carl might have a run down the inside, but no.
First tabletop kind of mellow. The second one way up in the air for everybody.
Carl pulls along the outside. Starts to set up really early. Look at the lock. Controls it well, and Carl Renesetter in the Lucas Oil #1, moving to second place.
So Doherty gives up the spot there to Carl. Now Carl, with his sights set on the leader, has to check up right there in the center of the turn. That's the one thing that Carl's truck does so good. It'll rotate on the very bottom of the turn.
A lot of drivers you see have to pre-set up the truck or drive it to the high side and get it to brake. Oh, lots of contact.
Chain reaction there. It looks
like Herp's gonna be the benefactor.
Wow. Kent Brasho checked up just a little bit as it looked like he was gonna over-rotate. Carl had no place to go, and now the next turn. Travis Coyne almost goes over. We've got to have another look at this.
Yeah, definitely.
Full course caution's going to come out here.
Doherty is inverted.
As is Kent Brasho.
And this is the next turn in turn 2. Look at the save Travis Coyne put together there.
And
great
there's a
driving.
big hole in the middle of that turn. A look at Tim Herbst here. Some damage to his truck, but he's the one that came out in front. Here it is, right here. Kent Brasho over-rotated, had to check up. Carl, no place to go, nor did Doherty.
And Doherty drives off the back tire of Renesetter to invert.
Kent goes for quite a ride. Another look at it here.
And Carl has the line. It's clear to go to the inside. And Brasho just checked up and couldn't get the traction going. Gets tagged. Multiple trucks inverting. Look at Tim Herbst. Does a great job getting on the binders, but still has contact with Doherty.
On board with Jerry.
Don't do this at home, kids. While you're still rolling, don't put your hand up near the roof or the bars.
All the safety aspects of the truck doing its job. He does have a plate over the top of his head, so not quite as dangerous as sticking your hand outside of the truck because it could take a hand off. There's a look at your E3 top 5. It's all different. Had a lot of action out here today at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex, including a record leap. Speaking of hot, man, the temperatures are soaring. Here we go. Final laps of the U4 race.
Tim Herbst will lead him to the green. He's never won in Unlimited 4. A little late to the throttle. Maybe Pfluger looking to the inside in the K&N machine. Not able to make it work. And you see how he has to start to rotate the truck by going one way and then the other, and Coyne gets into him.
Renesetter back there in 4th place when it was all said and done at the restart. Now has moved to 3rd already around Travis Coyne. Now has his teammate beside him, or just ahead of him, I should say, in Alan Pfluger. Alan Pfluger inside of the truck that Renesetter had won a championship in, and Travis off.
Problems for the number 5 Pro Comp truck. You can see it spitting fluid out the front, but here's the race right now for 2nd place. Renesetter holding it wide. Can he keep the line on the inside? No, but he's gonna make the pass stick. Pfluger playing nice there a little bit. He could have drove it in a little harder on him, maybe.
I think the big difference there is a 4,700-pound truck trying to fly and a 4,000-pound truck trying to fly.
Renesetter with the sights clearly set. on Tim Herbst's white flag is flying. Oh, tough luck there.
He can't get a break, man.
Kent Brasho is out for the race, and Tim Herbst is leading him on the last lap, looking for his first ever win. He's being hunted by the man who is the perennial winner, running the #1 plate in the Lucas Oil truck, Carl Renesetter. Let's see if Carl can set him up and take the win.
He has had some classic last laps over the years, no doubt about it. Tim Herbst can make a truck wide.
Definitely, I can tell you he was one of the hardest drivers for me to try to pass in the unlimited buggy race. Wasn't able to actually get around him. But look at Carl going to the outside, looking at a different line.
Boy, stands on the throttle, goes right around the outside. The left rear tire's going flat.
Carl's got a tire going down. Right here will be tough to make this turn, but he does. Tim doesn't have anything to shove to the inside. It doesn't look like it's going to be Renesetter.
And how about that? The General tires hanging on even though they're flat, and then a last lap pass with 2 turns to go. Carl Renesetter pulls it off.
Teammate Pfluger with the 3rd place. Herbst in 2nd. Another great race by Carl Renesetter.
You can see that left rear getting lower and lower, but you know, that is Carl Renesetter. That is a champion. If you want to go out there and win a championship, that's the guy you have to beat. When the last lap comes out, man, the horns come out of that helmet, and he becomes a different driver. Here's a look at your Mag Tools results. Tim Herbst, a great run. Great to have him back out here. Hopefully his brothers Ed and Troy will join him soon. Alan Pfluger in 3rd, and then how about Kerry Hart?
The top finishing unlimited 2 truck in the field. Let's go down to Rob, who's in the winner's circle.
Well, we went out and checked out after that crash. Carl Renesetter with Doherty and Brasho, and yeah, you're right. They did water the heck out of it. It was tacky fast, but I don't know if you noticed, left rear was down, brother. You ran the last couple laps, the left rear was on its way down. How about them General tires?
Well, I'll tell you what, that says a lot about those tires, but honestly, I didn't know what was wrong. I figured there was so much mud on this truck that it was just, the suspension was clapped out. Turns out it was a left rear flap, but that was a crazy race. They watered the track so bad on that track. It's still probably, this track's still not there. Never came in, but yeah, you know, I had a little incident there at the restart. I was coming on the inside of Kent Brasho. He cut down. I'm there, and then all of a sudden, Doherty's pushing me from behind. I'm like the meatball in the sandwich, you know, and next thing I know, this guy rolled, that guy rolled, and I'm like, what happened? How'd that happen? So that was kind of like the Twilight Zone. But, you know, this Lucas Oil General Tire truck is just unbelievable, and my team, they never say die. These trucks never say die. I never say die. I never give up to the end and try and make something out of nothing.
That's number 84, man.
Sweet.
Woo!
It's been an incredible weekend out here. Of course, the maiden voyage for the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series at Lake Elsinore Motorsports Complex. It has definitely been a rough and tumble one for some of the drivers, but for others, well, they brought home wins and a few more points towards that championship to be settled at the end of the year. For Rob Klepper and my colleague Cameron Steele, it has certainly been a pleasure bringing all the action to you. I'm Ken Stout. See you next time.